Don't send that long emotional text. Don't write that heartfelt letter where you simply pour your heart out to your avoidant ex. Don't try to convince them that breaking up was wrong and that they hurt you and that the relationship needs to resume. Don't do it. First of all, it is not likely to give you the result that you want. It's actually quite likely to give you the exact opposite of the results that you want. You're going to spend all this time and effort and energy pouring your heart out, getting more vulnerable, more affectionate, more loving, and you're likely to be met with crickets, silence. And if they do reply, it's very likely to be the reply you want. It's likely to be some sort of vague non-answer, or perhaps even coldness and rejection. And it's going to pour salt in your wounds. Your heart is shattered. You're picking up the pieces of your broken heart, trying to figure out what happened and how could they make such a mistake. It was a wonderful relationship. Why can't they see it? And maybe, just maybe, if you word things the right way, if you pour your heart out, they'll really see that you're not going to hurt them, that they are good enough for you, and that the relationship should continue. But it's actually likely to push this person further away. And that heartfelt letter, that long emotional text, is likely going to give them the ick, and they'll want to back off and distance even further. This is a person that is emotionally unavailable. This is a person that got triggered, their fears had been activated, and they deactivated, meaning they took their feelings for you, they suppressed them, they buried them. They're not even allowing themselves to access their own feelings. That's how they keep themselves safe. It's maladaptive, it doesn't actually work, it perpetuates their own loneliness and insecurities, but it's how they've learned to keep themselves safe going back to childhood. This is a person that avoids, and it's the result of consistent childhood emotional neglect. They weren't given the love and nurturing in the way that they needed. In addition to that, their feelings were routinely dismissed and rejected. They weren't able to express their emotions as a kid. They weren't given that kind of love and affection. They grew up to personalize it, feeling like there's something wrong with them, that they are defective and inherently unlovable. So fast forward to the relationship. They have this specific set of fears that stems from that neglect. And it really rooted in the fear of abandonment. They fear that if they let their walls down and get vulnerable with a partner, they're going to get rejected and abandoned. They relied on their parents or caretakers for their emotional needs and were met with rejection, perhaps even abandonment. So the subconscious fear lies there. So when you are pouring your heart out, when you are trying to convince this person to come back to the relationship, they're going to receive it as pressure to be vulnerable, pressure to be emotionally available. And instinctively, instead of opening their mind, eyes, and ears to your emotions, they're going to back off and shut down even further because, again, their fears have been triggered, and the way that they've learned to protect themselves is to detach from emotions and avoid the problem. They were never shown how to process emotions as a kid. They had to figure it out on their own. So what they learned to do is to stuff their emotions. Nobody wanted to hear their emotions, and put on a happy face. So when you are trying to get even more vulnerable, even more emotional, it just triggers them more and more and more. But more importantly, you are not respecting your own self-worth by sending that long emotional text, by writing that letter. You are trying to earn the love from this person. You are not recognizing that you did not deserve to be blindsided, discarded. You never would have done it to them. You didn't deserve it happening to you. By trying to convince them to come back and choose you, you're pushing yourself further into anxiousness. You're sending yourself as well as this person the message that what they did to you is okay, and that you are still waiting for them, still pining away for them as an available option in their back pocket, that they can come back anytime they want and bring you right back into the relationship because you are desperately wanting them so badly that you are holding no boundaries and no limits, and that it's okay to treat you that way. That is a huge message of anxiousness that you're sending to yourself. You're also sending yourself that message that you need to earn their love instead of it being mutual, where you give each other love and show each other care and respect for each other's feelings, wants, and needs in a mutual way. You did not deserve that. And by holding that boundary with yourself, holding that boundary with them, not chasing them, not pursuing, not pleading, not begging, you're saying, no, this wasn't okay. I do deserve better. And I'm not going to chase and try to convince someone to pick me because I know my own self-worth. Going into no contact, taking a step back, not reaching out. You're respecting yourself and you're not enabling this person. Because if you continue to pour your heart out, what incentive is there for them to change, to self-reflect, to take accountability? Because they can do this to you and still have you as an option anytime they want. There's no reason for them to change because there's no incentive. They haven't even experienced the loss of you. But when you're not reaching out, you're not begging, you're not pleading, you're staying in no contact, you're allowing them to actually experience the consequences of their actions. And that self-respect you're showing yourself is a powerful message. It really is. Helps you build up your confidence instead of writing that text or writing that letter. Pour your energy into things that are good for you. It could be your career, your hobbies, learn a new hobby, friendships, family, your health, things that improve your life. Because when you do that, you're sending yourself the message that not only are you not an option, but you have your own back and you can rely on yourself to take care of yourself even when your heart is broken. And that's a very powerful, secure, and uplifting message to send to yourself. So don't send that text. It's not going to give you the result you want. It's only going to hurt you. It's going to deepen the wounds and it's going to enable that person. Take that energy and put it into you because you deserve better than what you got. You never would have done it to them, and don't lose sight of that.